everyone. I think we're back. Right?
Can they see you?
I have no idea, but you keep talking while I figure it out.
Okay, so we've kind of messed up our live stream a couple times, but we're gonna try to fix it. I don't know what else to say. I bet no one else is watching, so this is fine.
Fine, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. I hope it's not just me.
It's fine.
I hope it's not.
Wait, they can see me. They can see me. For sure.
Okay, switching back.
I opened it on my phone and I was able to see myself. Wait, they can see me.
Yeah.
I'm getting weird sound feedback though. I don't know.
Yeah, same. I opened it too.
Okay. I'm just going to tweet out that we're live again because of course.
You know what? Just don't, and it'll
surprise them.
Because we don't know if it's gonna cut out again, right?
You know what? It was probably just me being dumb. I pressed the wrong button. Like I actually probably just pressed stop. Okay. Anyway, we were on
John Valjean.
John Valsatin, ma'am. And with that, John is a bisexual bitch. What did they call him last time? The big bi bitch of Westeros?
Yes, that's what you called him.
Okay. Next question is what's the main thing that you find that you love / find most compelling about ASOIAF as a whole?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I really feel like. Okay, give me a second to think about this. Actually, you go first.
I guess what I most. Okay, I'll say two things. I really like the magic part of it. That's always my favorite part of ASOIAF is magic. That's why I like Bran and Dany so much. I find that the most thrilling part. I mean, I know people like the military stuff and the politics and stuff like that, but I love the magic, and I also love how so many of the characters are about, like what George said, like the human heart and conflict, and you have so many characters who want more simple things, like a simple life, or they want to just like their lost childhood and they just want to go home, but they're like constantly thrust along a path that won't let them have that. And those are always the most compelling characters for me. I don't know if that made sense, but those are the kind of parts that I think are the most interesting.
No, I mean, I agree. I feel like he's telling a story that could easily just be very high fantasy, like just White Walker dragons and all that. And though I know that, I just feel like the way he fleshes out all these characters, though, is very human. Yeah. I know that obviously we have to have like fantastical characters that are just kind of out of this world, like Dany having dragons or Bran looking through trees. Like obviously they're a bit less human in that era, even though their like hearts are extremely human. But the way, I mean, because of that, the story is so much more compelling. Because especially you see like their wants, their needs, and then he does add all these layers to characters. I mean, he could have easily just been like, the Lannisters suck, and that's it.
And that's
but
that.
I mean, he writes them in a way that's just, it's fantastic. Because I mean, honestly, the Lannisters, as much as I like them, like all of them are arguably villains to an extent. So.
But the way he writes them, sympathize with them.
The way he writes them, and then the whole like gray morality thing that he has going on with not just them, but a lot of characters is what makes the world seem like these characters aren't just like made up. Like there could be a person out there that resembles them.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So next question is um favorite / least favorite POVs and why?
Okay.
Okay, you go first.
Favorite, my top 5 are Danny, Bran, Sansa. Oh no, wait, those are my favorite characters. So no, my favorite POVs are still Danny, Bran, Sansa, and then I guess I would say Cersei and Catelyn. Those are my top 5, not in any order. My least favorite POVs, whoosh, Victorian, Theron. I don't. Some Tyrion chapters are valid, like in Clash of Kings, mainly because he's with Cersei. But other than that, like he's just exhausting for me. His A Dance with Dragons chapters, the only ones I really liked are the ones where he's like with Jon Con and Fagon. Other than that, I'm just like, shut up, please. Yeah, those are. I don't. I think those are my least favorite. Also, Barristan is kind of boring.
Yeah. So yeah, I have kind of similar in the sense that I really enjoy Sansa's chapters. I feel like you see a very, very like clear trajectory of growth, especially because the first ones are just her being a bratty 11-year-old. And then you see by the end of her a Game of Thrones arc how much like that mindset has switched, even if it's not like that dramatic switch, but it's still there. Um, and then, like you also said, Catelyn. I feel like Catelyn's chapters are based a lot like on her heart, her wants, her needs. It's very into her character.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking at Rob's like actions from the like a very outsider perspective because as much as she loves Rob and his son, we don't see the war from Rob's point of view. We see it from
Yeah.
his mother's point of view, which just adds a whole another layer. That's I know again like I think a Rob chapter might have been fun to read, but I think the way he did it without a Rob chapter is actually excellent because
Yeah.
um it leaves a lot of place for the emotional side of his story. Because I know Rob is a very nice kid and he cares about his family. If we were reading from his point of view, there would be a lot of like battles and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And though again, some people like that, I would have probably been bored of it. But the way we see Rob through his mom's eyes is how I love Rob a lot. Okay, and then Cersei is another POV I really enjoy because, come on, she's Cersei. Like, that's self-explanatory. Like,
Yeah.
she's
That's
insane
it.
in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, other POVs. Oh yeah, Bran. Bran. I love Bran chapters. I know that towards the middle, like a Storm of Swords, when he's just going up to the wall, it's a little bit like not
Yeah.
much is going on.
Mm-hmm.
But everything with his magic is just amazing. Like I said, Bran 3 in A Game of Thrones and Bran 3 in A Dance of Dragons, I
Wow.
enjoy because of the fantastical magic element, even though I wouldn't say I'm like a big fantasy person, but those visions, like, they get to me. Like, it's such a good
No, for
writing on
sure.
George's part. And then I guess my favorite part also about Bran chapters is that he is able to tap into the mind of a 7-year-old, like, pretty well. Um, he describes things in ways that make sense for Bran being as young as he is. I was reading his first Clash of Kings chapter a couple days ago, and it was so like age appropriate and hilarious how like he just starts howling with the wolves because he thinks they understand him, which is actually true. But when like the other characters around him, like, why is a 7-year-old like howling at wolves? It doesn't make sense. But that's just things kids do. So I just think he like is actually really in touch with Bran, and he says Bran is hard to write, but I think he does a good job writing him. And then least faves. Yeah, I think I have the same list as you. It's like
Definitely. All those old men.
Yeah, like the Forsaken is valid.
Okay, yeah. The Forsaken is valid.
Euron is in
Else,
it,
that's it.
doing his crazy things.
Yeah.
But Aaron chapters before that, I can't even tell you what happened in them because I was so zoned out.
Yeah. The only one I can tell you
is
in the Kingdom.
the Victorian that Feast for Crows, dude, I fell asleep. Like I was like, I don't understand what's going on with this crazy guy, and I don't really care. Victorian 2 chapters and A Dance of Dragons, even though I don't like them as much, I think they're more interesting in this Feast for Crows one. I remember just like my jaw dropping when I was reading that part where he just like threw all the women onto a boat and burned it.
Yeah.
Richard is a character. I do not like him. I don't like his chapters.
It's more like I like their settings rather than like the characters themselves.
Yeah. The thing about the Forsaken, the whole setting of like being in the dungeons with all these crazy characters, and then like he at the end like he ends up tied to like a freaking pole. It's like whoa, like and then like Euron in his like Valyrian steel armor, like you always call him Gucci outfit, like yeah. And then yeah, Tyrion.
Tyrion.
Oh, Tyrion. When will he shut up? Like I get it. George loves him, but sometimes like did I really need 12 Tyrion chapters in A Dance of Dragons?
No.
And I feel like he doesn't get anywhere. Like the other characters, their arcs are pretty complete.
Yeah.
Like you see, for example, John, he's the one that, starts off as a kind of lost, doesn't know what he's doing leader, ends up making some choices that give him like a very definite ending. Like he dies. Theon, reek to Theon. And then you have Tyrion like just wandering around Essos, being the worst person in the world to everyone he meets.
Yeah.
Like, and then he just sells Casterly Rock when again he doesn't even own Casterly Rock, which is exactly what he did in Game of Thrones when he sells the Veil. It's like, oh my god! And then he's so dramatic. He has to sign the contract in blood. Like, okay, Mister, I'm craving death at this point. Like, I don't understand anything about his like mindset.
Oh, shit. Keep talking. I just dropped something.
Okay.
Oh boy. You can keep going. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, no, I was saying like I get it. He's been through a lot, but a lot of things he does, it's like, why? Why are you doing this? Like, get it together. Yeah, so
yeah, I agree.
Not like Tyrion's A Dance of Dragons chapters. And like you, I enjoyed the ones where Griff and young Griff were there. But other than that, I was just like, please, like, keep going. Like I had to push myself to finish them because there usually was another character I wanted to read about afterwards.
Honestly, like I love Dungeons. That's my favorite book, but those chapters are such a drag on it.
Yeah.
It's like everyone else snapped in that book, but Tyrion.
He is a mess. I think my camera fell off.
Oh no.
Do you see Bran's face there?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. Okay. I'm gonna turn it off and turn it back on officially. Let's see if that makes a difference. Oh, there we go. I think I'm back. Okay. Next question. It says, if you could choose to spend a day with one character, who would it be? Emilia can't choose Dany, and Amparo can't choose Sansa.
You go first.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
One character?
Yeah. Who?
It's hard to narrow it down to one. But, if I pick a Stark, they're not together. I was like, I could probably hang out with the other Starks, but they're not together currently. But, like, if I were to hang out with them post A Dream of Spring, maybe like I could hang out with the rest of them. I don't know. Okay, probably Bran or actually no, because it'd be cold. Like, and Cersei would call me poor if I tried to hang out with
Cersei, you're gonna get hurt. She'll hurt you.
I don't know. I guess I'll go with Bran because I would love to take care of that little boy that needs help in his life, and I also want to see the trees and stuff like that, and meet Summer because though Ghost is probably one of my favorites direwolves, Summer's also. I love Summer.
That's a good choice. Me? I would say Mel. I think she'd be really cool.
Wait, I think you got frozen. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. What were you saying?
I said that I would choose Mel.
Oh, okay.
I think she'd be a lot of fun. I think she'd be a lot of fun to hang out with. And I think learn about her magic and how she reads visions. And also, I don't know, I think her background is really interesting. So maybe she'd tell me where she's from.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Maybe you can attend the Stavos wedding too if you're with Mel.
Exactly. And if I hang out with Mel, I get to hang out with Davos and Stannis. It's a win-win.
I get to hang out with Mira, and maybe if they're not dead yet, people. Oh my god.
And so matched up with Jojen.
I'm just gonna assume if I hang out with Bran, I hang out with Mira, but I'm not gonna say anything about the rest of them because they could be dead, or are dead. Because Paste is canon. Like, we've been new. Okay, next question. If you had a direwolf, what would you name it?
You want to answer first or me?
Go.
Me? Maybe I think I'd name it Rhaenys. I like a lot of Targaryens named Rhaenys. I think that'd be cool naming a direwolf a Targaryen name too. Yeah, it'd be cute.
Yeah, this is apparently assuming I live in Westeros. So yeah, no, I think like along the same lines as Arya of naming like her direwolf after like the historical figure she enjoyed. I guess for me it would be like naming my direwolf like Alicent. I don't know how people say it differently. Alicent. Yeah, no, I probably would name it after her. Because I really enjoy her and like Westeros history, even though I don't really like many Targaryens, I think she's really fascinating. Yeah, and I can't think of any other names.
Yeah, Rhaenys and Alicent, that's cute. Or direwolves.
Yeah, and then because I mean, I feel like a lot of the Starks like name their direwolves very like not humanish names, except for like again like Arya naming her wolf Nymeria. But I don't think there's anything I would like connect you to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna name my direwolf like Ghost or Lady or Grey Wind. I don't have anything like that. That's like abstract. Okay. So our next question is, which city would you want to live in?
You go.
Cities I'd want to live in. Well, God, probably because I mean, again, there's not a lot of cities in Westeros. The majority of them are across the ocean. For Westeros, I'd probably go at White Harbor, since that's the smallest city. I like city, but also in like we're talking about Westeros and big cities. equals I might die early on as a peasant from some crazy disease.
Yeah.
Kind of cities like Flea Bottom. They're probably like I don't even know what they're doing there. So I would probably go at White Harbor because it's the smallest city, even though it is a city. And also it's the north, and I guess it's not too north too, so it wouldn't be that far from like other civilizations. Then I can get around easier because if there's a port, and if I had to go the Essos to a city, yeah, I'd definitely go to Bravos. Like it's pretty cool out there.
Yeah. I think I would choose Bravos. I think it's really cool. There's like a lot of like mixed cultures, I think, there too. I think that'd be like really interesting to see. And like I think like it was in one of Arya's chapters that like she would like walk through the streets and there'd be like different like places of worship like right across from each other, I think. And I think that'd be really cool. And also I could find a house at the red door.
Because it's in Bravos for sure. Okay. Let's see. The next question that we have is favorite house motto. I think thematically, winter is coming is the best one because it literally is the huge reminder that it doesn't matter how many people are fighting for that stupid throne, like the others are coming for all of them. So I think that thematically that one is the best. But there's kind of enjoyable catchphrases like from other families. Like I think I've heard a lot of people like say they love the Martell one, like unbowed, unbent, unbroken. I think the what was the one? I'm like blanking out. Oh, but the Lannister one. I feel like that just says so much about their house. Like it's amazing. Like they picked like the most spot on motto about who they are as people. But yeah, I mean, Winter is Coming is just the one that makes the most sense for the whole story. So that's why I would just say it's my favorite, even though it's like who doesn't like the Starks? But yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me.
I like Unbowed, Unbent, and Broken. Ours is the Fury and Fire and Blood.
Yeah. That's the one that slipped my mind. Ours is the Fury. Yeah. That was the one I was trying to think about. But yeah, I also like that like Ours is the Fury has a longer history than just House Baratheon, and how like Oris Baratheon like adopted it from House. How was it again? House Dundaren. Duran. What was it again?
Dundarin.
Yeah, I was like Dundaren. I was like, no, not that house. Yeah, so I guess I like that. It's like been adapted from a past house too, so it's like an interesting thing because you usually don't hear about things like that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, best character arc.
You want to go first?
My answer's obvious.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Well, I don't stand Sansa because she's done nothing. Like I love her arc and her growth, and it's just I just adore how George was able to tap into the mind of a little 11-year-old girl. And of course, I do not like the fact that she had to go through so much trauma, but the way that she's been able to adapt across all these situations, and then you see her grow so much over just a couple of books in a couple of years in her time. And just like she's still really relatively young compared to other characters, and then she's learning all these like political things. Like I definitely think that she's going to end up in a ruling position eventually. Like she's out of the Starks, she's the most politically competent because again, knowing how to fight does not make you a good ruler. AKA, we have people like Robert Baratheon who were good fighters, but what does that have to do with ruling? So Sansa being the only one that's politically aware of what's going on in Westeros is definitely going to help usher in like some stability at the end of the story, which is what Westeros desperately needs. in whichever rulers they come up with, whether it be a democracy or the North is independent, North is separate. I don't know exactly where we're heading in the end, but I think that Ponce is definitely going to be one of those leaders that's going to help usher in a better Westeros that's just been war torn.
Totally. I absolutely agree. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, so tell us why Dany has the best arc.
Yeah, so my answer is Dany. I really like her character arc because I don't know, I was reading somewhere that like even in like the beginning of her chapters in a Game of Thrones, like she's like a very novel perspective, like Catelyn. Like you would expect the POV to be given to like someone like Viserys or someone, but it's given to a sister, and you know, she's not only from like from the beginning to the end of a Game of Thrones, like she goes from a pawn to like someone with like agency, and even like across all of her 4 arcs, the 4 book arcs so far, she's just always persevering over every obstacle she's given, and she's trying to like. I really like it because you see that she's on this path to like power, and but she's more like kind of unwittingly going along with it. She's trying to go with it because you know she's trying to find a home. She's trying to like do good for people, and she becomes more morally gray as the story goes on, but you can see through her monologues that she's doing good, or she wants to do good. And I think even just in A Dance with Dragons, like that's my favorite arc for her because you see how hard it is for her to rule, and it's would have been hard for anybody, but she like has to make these really harsh decisions, and she's like struggling with making those decisions. And you get to the end of A Dance with Dragons and she's kind of just like fuck everything. And I don't know, you see her like this young girl who's constantly pushed along a path of like trauma, abuse, horrible obstacles, and she's always just, I have to go forward. She has no other choice but to go forward. And this, you know, duality between like being a young girl who wants a home, but like this leader who is like, he's a dragon who has to like go back to Westeros and win the Iron Throne, are constantly in conflict. And I'm really excited to see how those 2 sides of her are kind of resolved during the War of the Dawn, however it is resolved. But yeah, I think she's a good example of the human heart in conflict because it's always at the core of whatever she's doing, and I really enjoy reading about that.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer, and I also think that her arc in the next book is going to be really interesting because she's going to have to deal with her more Targaryen side and instincts, and again being that person that just wants to go home. Like, because again, the characters are just so young. In the books, I mean, the show did age them, but like, and it makes sense that they would age them because some of the things they go to are just so intense.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, she's like, 16?
I think she's 15.
15? Because I thought John was 17 and he's like a year older, so I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, maybe.
I just assumed John was 17 because Rob died when he was 16.
You could be right. I always get confused with her age.
I just know that like there's like a year difference between her and Rob and John. But yes, again, so she's 15, 16, whatever. It's really young, and she has to somehow like bring together her like 2 sides and get across a continent. Like that's gonna be interesting to see. Like it's probably gonna be a really great arc to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you are. Okay. So if you had a house, what would your banner be? I don't know.
Maybe just you should put like a lemon on yours or something.
Lemon.
Lemon cake for Sansa.
No, that'd be like if you and I started like a joint house. It'd be like lemons.
true.
Like, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe I have no clue, man.
I'm thinking like, because also like it's not like I can do something modern, you know. I'd probably be like Western, so like, and they do a lot of like of nature kind of things.
Yeah, I could do half of Steve's shield, half of Tony's arc reactor. That's my banner.
That's a great answer, I guess. Yeah, I think I'll just go with. Okay, it's gonna be super dumb, but this is because I'm trying to get an answer. But the freaking like Twitter bird on there, because I never ever leave that stupid website. So yeah, that'd be my house banner. I'd be house Twitter.
It's Twitter.
Okay. Rank the books. Well.
You want to go first?
Okay. No one jumped me, but A Clash of Kings makes me so miserable sometimes. It's not a bad book. I'm not saying it's a bad book, but in the series, it's definitely my least fave. And Game of Thrones would definitely be after. And then I have changed my opinions on my favorite books a little bit to the point where I can't decide anymore what's my favorite book in the series. The other three are just really excellent, so it's really hard to pull them apart. I think I'm gonna go with A Feast for Crows, like in that third spot ish, but it's like really close to the other two. And the other two, I'm just gonna put them at the same level. Like I love Storm of Swords so much for the events that happen, but A Dance with Dragons is definitely also like really close to my heart by the way he writes the characters and how it's like a more and like in-depth character analysis. But again, like it's those two are still really close to A Feast for Crows because Feast for Crows is just it's just another part of dance essentially. Like they're both really close. I just feel like A Feast for Crows. Again, do I like it? There's also kind of those like slower, like Ironborn chapters that kind of drag,
for sure.
and so it just things like that that are kind of nitpicky, but it because it's not really doesn't take away from the book. But yeah, so I'd say Clash of Kings last, and then A Game of Thrones, and then A Feast for Crows, and then A Storm of Swords tied with the Dance of Dragons.
I think mine is the same.
Really?
I think so.
Do you also not like A Clash of Kings?
No, I do. I really do. It's just like me ranking A Clash of Kings last is still me ranking A Clash of Kings higher than a lot of books I've read.
Exactly. I completely agree. Like, I don't hate it. Like, it just, some parts are just not as compelling to me as other parts in other books. Like, someone was like, oh, how can you not like, the book where Stannis and Davos and Mel are introduced? And I was like, even them, like, they're not that much in the book for me to be like, yes, Team Dragonstone saved this whole book.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like, not to bag on Tyrion. He has 13 chapters in A Clash of Kings. Yeah.
Totally.
I'll just leave it at that,
Already.
Like you said, there's some of them that are great in the sense that very interesting conversations happen, but it's just too much sometimes.
For sure. I agree.
Okay, next question. Who do you want to have a POV or more of them in The Winds of Winter or Dream of Spring?
Mel.
Yes, we need more Mel POVs. I don't know how George did it, but one POV was like better than like so many he's written. Like literally one POV outshone so many others that have had chapters drag on forever, and it's like crazy.
It's very true.
I know, like you said, I know we aren't getting new point of views, so that sucks. But again, like I would love to see, again, more of the scheming sides of what's going on in Westeros politically. Like, again, a Tyrell or a Varys, Littlefinger kind of point of view-ish, to see what's going on in their heads. That'd be interesting. I feel like the only way we'd ever get it, though, is like a prologue where they're gonna die. Like, I don't think we'd ever get it past that. And then, yeah, I mean, can I get more Stark POVs? I'm dying out here. Like, well, I haven't had a Sansa chapter since the Feast of Crows. I mean, I've read the Elaine one, but again, like, that's just one chapter. Same thing with Arya. I heard Arya's gonna have a lot of chapters, which is super exciting. Because again, only 5 chapters between A Feast for Crows and A Dance of Dragons.
Read the Elaine one.
Bran, I need more Bran chapters. Like, he has the most like magic in his stories, and we don't get that many chapters of him. Like, why?
I know.
Oh, and I wish, again, I wish we're not gonna get it, but that Rickon had a POV, because that'd be really fun to read. I don't know how George would get into the mind of a 5-year-old, but reading about him on Cannibal Unicorn Island would be so much fun.
That's cute.
And does Ghost count as a POV? Because
when Jon is in him, when he's dead.
So yeah, we're gonna get a Ghost POV, so that's gonna be fun. Mm-hmm. I hope, at least. If we don't, I'm gonna be sad, because the little bits we get from the Stark kids inside the wolves are really fun to read, especially because they think as the wolves a lot. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of times they'll be like talking like as a wolf. Like, they'll think of, like, I was reading like a Bran chapter where he's like in Summer's head, and he says he's missing his brothers and sisters, but in the sense that he's missing like Lady and Nymeria and Grey Wind kind of thinking. So I think that's really fun to read about too. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay. Let me see. How do you think the Jon Arya reunion will go?
I have no idea. I truly have no idea. I
don't even know if Arya will be back by the end of this book. Like, I want her to, but
The Winds of Winter?
Yeah, I would love her to be back in, like,
I feel like
Westeros.
By the end of The Winds of Winter.
Right, exactly. So it's probably gonna be put off till A Dream of Spring then, like her making her way to Winterfell, if Jon is already in Winterfell by then. I don't know. I don't know.
I have. I don't know. Everything with Arya.
Are getting Stark reunions in The Winds of Winter. If Rickon is alive, he's probably the top one to meet Jon and or Sansa, because I definitely think Jon and Sansa are the most likely candidates right now, not only because of the show, but also where they're heading, kinda.
I think so too.
As the potential rulers of the North, in the sense that Robb's will names Jon, and then Sansa's coming with an army. And then I was hearing a very interesting argument that, Sansa might stop at Winterfell and then with the army, and then make her way to the Wall from there with an army, which is actually really helpful to Jon at the Wall right now with all the others coming. So, I don't know. Plus, I mean, Jane does complicate things too with the Jon Arya reunion, because when he comes back to life, or even as Ghost, he's going to be expecting Arya to walk through the door eventually. And then he's going to see Sansa's little best friend and be like, what the hell is going on? When everyone says that's Arya, especially if he's in Ghost and he can't say anything. So he's just stuck there like, that's not Arya at all. Dude, actually, I would love to see that. Like, he just can't say anything. He's just stuck there. Like, that's not Arya. But
just barking at her.
No! Oh my god, can you imagine how sad that'd be? Like, she finally gets to the wall and Ghost is just dead-ass barking at her non-stop. Oh my god. Okay. Let me see. 2 characters that haven't met and can't meet, but you want them to.
You want to go first?
Okay, so they can't meet. Probably because they're dead, I'm guessing.
Oh, who can't meet?
Yeah, they haven't met and they can't meet.
Okay.
Rob and what did I say? Oh, I wanted Rob and Danny to meet because they had
That's mine.
very similar ideologies about ruling
Yeah.
and being young and having a kingdom trust upon you. Yeah, I think I stole that one from you actually. Sorry.
No, 100%. I want them to meet so badly. They have so many parallels. It's so sad.
I think it's really interesting. And it's interesting because I feel like I can have arguing how Rob, not seeing his point of view is probably beneficial to his character. So I feel like Danny is basically a lens into Rob without being Rob.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, it actually would have been too repetitive if we had two young rulers talking about their kingdoms and whatever. So I think choosing Danny over Rob was like a really good idea, George.
Yeah, good choice. No, 100%. They have so much in common. I
would very much like Catelyn to well, I mean, she's Lady Stoneheart, but it's not the same. But I guess just meet people that are in Winterfell currently, like Stannis. She might have met Stannis before. I don't know, but Catelyn seeing what's happened to Winterfell since she's left would be interesting because Stannis probably going to take Winterfell. Also, I think Davos would be interesting to see Davos and Stannis. No, sorry, Davos and Catelyn, in the sense that Catelyn is very big on understanding social hierarchies. So it'd be interesting for her to see this former smuggler being the hand of king. Because she has very. I don't blame her. She's a woman of her time, so she's very big on everyone has their spot in society. I'm trying to think of other people, but I can't.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, let me see. I don't know. We should have what do you call it? John meet Lyanna. Now I made myself sad.
That's depressing.
Oh, why would I say that out loud? Now I'm sad.
Very, very sad.
I do not want to get into sad John Lyanna hours, but
sad John Lyanna hours, yeah.
He just what gets me the most is that he thinks his mom never loved him. That his mom literally loved him so much she died for him. That hurts.
So depressing.
Oh, God. Okay.
She was 16 when she died. He was 16, 17 when he died. So sad.
You did not have to bring that up. Oh my God. That's not fair.
No, it's really not.
Okay, I have one. These are not shaped as questions. The next couple of them, it's so. I guess we'll just comment on them.
Okay.
It says a TED talk on how Ashara Dane is Diana Reed, and then it says I will be accepting no constructive criticism. Dude, I love that theory.
I do.
I love it. Plus the other side of it also is that that means Mira could be potentially the next Sword of the Morning, so it's double win there.
Cool. Very cool.
And I also love that you'd have a character that everyone's been searching for, in all these other characters, and people what if Ashara is actually Quaithe? What if Ashara is actually that one Septa that's traveling with young Griff? It's no, she was hiding in the freaking neck the whole time. That's the most unobvious place to look for her.
Freaking neck.
With Mr. Frogman. No, I'm sorry, that's what it means Howland, but come on, they're tiny. Yeah, and that because I feel the whole thing with Ashara just jumping off a tower and her binary being found is such a George way to say she's not dead. But where is she?
Yeah.
I don't know. And then of course the Danes don't seem to hate Ned as you would think if she was the reason he jumped off of a tower. because they literally named Edric after Ned. So it's like, I don't think he was the reason that she died, if she died at all, because I don't think she's dead. And then her going and marrying Howland Reed is just like, it just adds up. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of missing pieces. We need more info on the Tower of Joy and the attorney at Harrenhal, but I think that's an interesting theory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next question is, well, I guess it's straight as a comment. Stannis is the true king of Westeros.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no question that he is not. Renly is a usurper, and he should be treated as such.
Yep. He called the police.
Yeah, everyone against Stannis was legally wrong. I don't know what you'll have to say about, like.
It's just like, I don't understand what was going through Renly's mind when he like decided he was gonna be king. Like, you idiot. He obviously knew that the crown would go to one of Robert's brothers, but Stannis is older than him. What was he thinking? Like, oh yeah.
What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
Skip Stannis. It's gonna come to me. Like, are you dumb? There's like nothing going on up here. Nothing.
The amount of brain cells he has are like non-existent.
He's an idiot. He's an
He's
idiot.
a fucking idiot. I don't understand why anyone would actually in their right mind even support Renly. Like, the Tyrells and I said, yeah, let's go with Renly. Like, what
Honestly,
the fuck is wrong with them?
Renly was
like,
the greatest scammer in history.
I'm just like, they married Marjorie to Renly in hope that, you know, like, one of their kids, like, one of the Tyrell line would sit the Iron Throne. But it's like, again, why would you go to Renly, who is never going to sit the Iron Throne? Ever. In a million years. He's an idiot.
He's a big idiot. Big dumb idiot.
And then Stannis has every right to be mad. People act like Stannis complains for no reason, but it's like, dude, like, all his brothers suck. Like, they just do. Like, Renly tries to steal his crown, and then when Robert was alive, he was a dickbag for no reason. Like, yeah, so what if Stannis is a bit little, you know, socially awkward and takes everything literally? But it's like, do you have to be that mean to the brother that helped get you the crown? Like, without Stannis, you wouldn't have this stupid crown. So can you at least be nice to your brother?
Be nice.
And then Renly's also just mean to everyone for no reason. Like, that whole part was making fun of Shireen for how she looks. Like, Shireen has no fault in how she looks. Like, that is so messed up.
They're so... I'm gonna strangle them. I hate them.
No Baratheons except Stannis and Robert's bastards are valid right now, at least. There's some interesting Baratheons in the past. Okay, and then this one says, Ned Stark deserved better. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think Ned is a very good person that got stuck in, like, the snake pit he wasn't expecting to find. That is King's Landing. I don't know. What else do you gotta say on that?
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he deserved better. I don't think he deserved to die like that. No. But I'm still bitter at how he fathered Sansa in King's Landing. I don't know.
No, I definitely agree that he wasn't the best dad to Sansa. But I wouldn't argue he's a horrible dad, though.
No, I don't think that either. I hate him keeping, I know he had to, but like him keeping Jon's identity from Catelyn, like,
I understand why he did it as much as I would have not done it. Like, if I were him,
I understand, but it's just like,
I understand.
It caused so much problem. It caused so many problems.
It's still causing problems to this day.
Right.
Oh my god! No, I'm just thinking about, like, the will and how, like, that will is going to mess things up even more. Especially because I don't know how much Lady Stoneheart remembers about Jon and stuff, but, like,
she's gonna come for him.
Her being like, "You're taking my daughter's crown."
She's gonna be.
It's going to be very uncomfortable.
Lady Stoneheart's gonna be like, I was right.
I was right. Especially, it's like, and the thing is, like, she was right. I remember I was writing about how, like, Catelyn's fear of bastards isn't, like, unreasonable, because, like, those books give us clear examples of how, like, bastards are a threat to trueborn children, and it's not like she's being crazy. Like, freaking Ramsay killed his brother, or at least heavily implied. Like, why would it's like, you know what? It's like people are like acting like Catelyn was just this evil stepmom for no reason, but it's like she's from the place where the Blackfire rebellions exist. Like, bastards can be dangerous to trueborn children, and she's just looking out for Rob and Rob's future children.
You're right.
You know, I get it. Obviously, John, it'd be nice if you had a mom growing up, you know, but we all don't always get what we want, you know? The same way Catelyn didn't want John in the house, John should get a mom. So, you know, it's a bad situation for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. It says, I forgot this question was in here. The Targaryens were shit rulers. Do the Targaryens deserve rights?
I mean, I like some of them.
I say I don't like Targaryen, but I do enjoy some of them. That's the worst part. Like, they're not completely unlikable.
They're not. What's so fascinating about them to me is that they're like have really good members, but then they have like equally terrible members, which is it's very interesting. A lot of them,
like,
deserve right.
Some of them deserve their rights.
Yeah, like I love like obviously Alicent, and I love the two Rainies, and I love like Dany obviously and Rhaella, but a lot of them, but others not the greatest.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at like Fire and Blood, this is just recently, there's some nice people in the house that aren't good rulers too. Like, how is that? Like, the thing is, like, you don't have to be a horrible person to be a bad ruler. Like, Viserys was being a really nice guy by trying to inherit Rhaenyra, but he knew what that was going to cause politically, and he still did it anyway. And then he just dies, and a whole war breaks out because his decisions were kind of questionable when he was alive. Again, he's not a bad person, and like, I really like when he dies. It like says he kind of basically died in peace, and like how like he was reading to his grandchildren before he died. So it's very like a calm moment. But then like literally right after he dies, like they lock his body up in a, like in like his room so they can all start scheming. Like, I hated Team Green in the House of Dragons. Like, then Team Black also just, there was no good side on that stupid war, except I feel bad for all the kids, like all of them, except for Aegon's brothers. They're all types for no reason. Aegon the second, not Aegon the third. I love all those Rhaenyra's kids. And then I think there's also Jaehaerys' dad, Aenys. He was, again, he wasn't like a bad guy specifically, more like a cowardly, indecisive person, so that made him a shitty ruler. So yeah, it's like, you know, being a ruler is a lot more work than the Targaryen. Some of the Targaryens seem to think.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of just think they can just come in and take over, and like that's it. Like Aegon.
Like Aegon, he came in, but like he wasn't even the one ruling.
It was I know, like his sisters were doing all the work for him, and his hand. Men.
Shit.
But I mean, again, like the best rule that I mean, I agree that with this, but like I mean, Westeros kind of agrees too that like Jaehaerys actually got things done. And, you know, I think he did make some questionable decisions at times, but I guess that's because he was a good ruler, and that's just how it has to go. Even though like that ended up him and Alicent, I love both of them, but like towards the end when they were arguing, she was mostly right. but you know, it's Westeros. When do they ever listen to women? Okay. What do you think Cersei's arc in Winds and Dreams will be? Winds and Dream will be like? How will it end?
Death.
Oh yeah, she's gone.
She's dead. She's going. I think she'll die in Winds of Winter.
You think she's not going to make it to A Dream of Spring?
I don't think so.
I agree.
I don't think so.
The show has dragged her out way longer than she's going to last in the books.
I think she's gonna die when Aegon comes in, probably.
See, I want that because that'd be interesting, but I also don't want it because Jaime's nowhere around her if that happens.
Well, Jaime might be back by then.
If he's back, yeah, but he doesn't seem like he's coming back soon, at least. I feel like if she dies without Jaime around, it just doesn't seem right to me. Because I feel like...
Oh, she might also...
They have to die together.
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen too.
Yeah.
Or she might...
Yeah.
She might die with... Well, oh no, well, Jaime will kill her, and then Jaime will die if Dany accidentally blows up King's Landing. That's also a theory I've read.
Yeah, I'm finding out Jaime trying to stop Cersei from blowing up King's Landing, but I think the ironic part would be like blow it up anyway. Like he was accidentally.
It blows up anyways, yeah.
Oh
shit, my computer's gonna die. 1 second. You can keep talking. I'm just gonna get my charger.
Yeah, and then I feel like Aegon coming in, like it makes for an interesting way to dispose Cersei from power, but I don't think that's the best way for Cersei to die specifically. Like maybe they'll lock her up again in the dungeons like they did with the Faith, but I don't think that I would enjoy if Cersei just died because Aegon took over. Like I feel like there has to be more to how she dies, you know?
She's definitely got a lot more crazy to do before she dies.
I mean, at least we know that Tommen and Myrcella have to die first before she dies, and that's still a little while out. Hopefully. I hope.
Hopefully.
I love those kids. You know, for someone that acts like I don't like children in real life, I really like the children in the story.
Me.
They're angels. Like some of them, not all of them, obviously, like Joffrey, but like Tommen and Myrcella are the sweetest things. I adore them.
They're just
what?
Well, they've never done anything wrong in their life.
Exactly. You know that whole thing with D&D saying that Sir Pounce died? I was like, why? Like, y'all couldn't leave Tommen dead. You had to kill his cat. One good thing. Tommen left behind. That was so... It's too much. It's too much. And then I'm running out of time, so let's answer like 2 more questions. Favorite crackhead ASOIAF theory. I think we have something similar like that, but it says examples such as Bolton is changing, White Walker. Okay, I've not heard White Walker. Quaithe is daddy from the future. Jaime and Cersei are Targs. How do you feel about any of those?
Those are all crackhead. They're all very interesting.
Yeah. They're crackheads. Jaime and Cersei being Targaryens would be so poetically like wild and ironic in so many ways, especially because Cersei keeps being associated with wildfire, which is just obviously probably like a hint to her blowing things up. But I think that'd be so like ironic if she was actually half Targaryen and then she was the one blowing things up. And then Jaime being the one that Tywin is like, yeah, like you are my heir, blah blah blah, and then he's shitting on Tyrion every 5 seconds. Turns out Jaime's not even his son. Like that's even more poetic irony. That it's just like, especially that whole thing with Jenna Lannister saying like, what do you call it? Like Tyrion is Tywin's son, not you, like that. It's just it'd be interesting, but I doubt it. And even if they were, we wouldn't even have time to get into it. Like, and what implications would it even have if they found out? They can't find out, first of all. That there's no way for them to like do a DNA test. And even if they did somehow magically find out, like, what's that going to change?
I know there's no one that could really confirm it.
Bran.
Bran is always the wild card.
Bran is just watching everyone. Can you imagine though, like Bran just trying to like prove these like extravagant claims and people are like, "You're 10."
I'm not gonna believe a 10-year-old tree boy.
They're probably just gonna assume he's lost it up in the north. I don't know.
100%.
And then let's see. Who are the two other dragon riders besides Danny?
Jon, Bran, but not like physically riding the dragon.
Warging. Yeah, Jon for sure. I think it also depends for the third one. Like if it's not Bran, or maybe like I said, like I've said before, like I think it'd be interesting if Bran wargs into a dragon and Jon rides a warged dragon. But a lot of people want to argue it's Tyrion, and I understand why. There's a lot of foreshadowing. I think it'd be what?
I hate it.
I know. But I mean, there is so much evidence.
There is.
The worst part. I think it'd be interesting if the other dragon rider isn't like a good person. Like, they have that stupid. The Ironborn had that stupid horn. Like, what if one of them becomes a dragon rider?
That theory that like Euron gets hold of one of Dany's dragons and she's like forced to fight and kill her dragon to kill him.
Yep.
Which is sad.
It's plausible, honestly. Yeah.
It is. Because I think she's gonna be the one to kill him, so it'd be very fitting if she has to kill one of her dragons to do so. It'd be sad.
Yep. Yeah, but the traditional sense of like the heroes riding the dragons, yeah, Dany and Jon for sure. And I feel like he's gonna make Tyrion ride a dragon. And I'm to be annoyed, but oh well, we don't always get what we want. Okay. I'm just kind of skipping around now since I don't have a lot of time left. And then, yeah, I have class at 7, remember? So it's like 30-something minutes away. Who do you think will survive ASOIAF and who will not?
All I know for sure is that Sansa is living.
Okay.
And that's like the only character I'm putting my money on for surviving. But then I think
for dying, you also have your cards on one specific person. I mean, you need to believe it's like 0% likely that Dany's gonna make it out.
Oh yeah, I don't think she's making it out alive at all.
Like the fact you stand her and you acknowledge that says a lot.
Listen, I do, but I'm not. I stand her, but I'm not delusional. It's very. We see her death in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's very. Yeah, I think Cersei's dying. Jaime's dying.
I think the Starks, besides Sansa, are really big wild cards.
Yeah. Like Arya, Bran, and Jon are all 50-50 for me.
I feel like Jon dying again is so stupid, but also that's exactly why he would die again. Because you're not expecting it. At the same time, it's like, dude, he died once. Does he really need to die again? Like, what purpose does him dying again serve? But like, us not expecting him to die again is exactly why he might die again. And Bran, again, he is, I do not know. It's 50-50. He just has a magical journey to fulfill, and if he doesn't fulfill it, like what happens next? Does he just die? Or if he does fulfill it, is it too much for him? Will it overpower him? He'll have to die? I don't know. And then Arya,
I think if of all the other 3 Starks, well, besides Rickon, I think Rickon's dying too.
Yeah, Rickon's dying.
But of Jon, Arya, and Bran, I think the most likely of the 3 to die is Arya.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up that line in the first book where it literally says someone can find her dead with a needle in hand. It's a bit too obvious, which also is like, oh, but she's not dying because it's too obvious. But it's like, God, it just seems like it's heading towards Arya dying.
Yeah.
It sucks because I love her.
It does suck. I'll be sad.
He's so little.
I know. Very sad.
I would very much like Davos to survive.
He's another one I think is going to survive too.
He is the father that raised me, so of course I want him to live.
Yeah, I think he's going to live. Stannis is dying, probably.
Yes, Stannis is definitely dying, along with Shireen, because
yes,
that's gonna happen.
She's gonna die.
I think Mel might have to die eventually for prophecy purposes. I don't want her to because I love her, but maybe Valor has other plans for her. I don't know. I'm thinking of northern characters. Theon, I would want to survive. Him and Asha and Jane, I would love for the three of them to survive. But I just don't know if it's likely, especially since we start the Winds of Winter and Theon is like 2 seconds away from dying, apparently.
Yeah. I think Asha will survive. Asha.
I'd love her to rule.
Me too. I love her so much. She's great.
I just would not want Theon to die before he completes his arc that he's already going through. Because he's probably Theon has the best redemption arc, guys. Like, we need to establish that now. No one else has such a great arc as him yet, at least. Come on, like, if you say anyone else but Theon, I literally will smack you. Like, Theon has like the best arc right now for redemption. But yeah, I feel like I would need to see his redemption complete before he dies. And him just dying before Jane can even make it to the wall is just like so unfulfilling. Like, I would want him to know at least she's safe before he has to die.
I agree.
Who else? Well, the Lannisters, like you said, Cersei's gonna die. I think they're probably gonna be they're probably gonna go extinct, which is really sad because they're really a long-standing house.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't seem like any of them are likely to survive long enough to rule again.
No.
Like,
because like Cersei's kids.
If by some miracle Jaime doesn't die with Cersei, he seems very destined to die in battle.
Yeah.
Because didn't he have a dream that he was fighting the others, or am I tripping?
He did too. He had a dream about fighting the others too, I think.
That's what I said to Jaime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because his hand was on fire, right?
Yes.
Because he's Azor Ahai. No, he's not. You know, it's fun to think about.
Absolutely.
Then Tyrion, I don't know. He's probably gonna die. Like, that I just have nothing to say about him. Like, I'm just tired of him. That's exactly why he's gonna live though, because I'm tired of him.
Yeah.
The Martells are all gonna die probably in the next book.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Along with Aegon and Jon Con and just everyone.
A lot of people are dying.
It's gonna be burnt lasagnas, as we always say.
Burnt lasagnas.
Okay. Yeah, and then I think it was like, well, of course, Danny's probably not gonna live, and then Team Danny, which is like Barristan and Missandei and
man, fuck
Dothraki, like.
Poor Missandei doesn't die.
She should not die. She's only like a little girl. But I think Barristan's definitely gonna die. Missandei, I like her bond with Danny. I think it's really sweet. For the safety of Missandei, I think it'd be safest for her to stay in Essos and not go straight to Westeros where the battles are going. So maybe that actually guarantees she lives.
God, I'm hoping that like Danny sends her on that ship to Nath when they get to Westeros and just stays out of it.
Yeah, same. And then I'm trying to think of other players right now, but I think that's about it, right? Because most people, they already died.
Major ones.
Oh, The Tyrells
Dead.
dead.
They dead.
Maybe Willis is his like the surviving member because he stayed out of the snake pit that is King's Landing.
Oh yeah, I could
But-
see Willis or Garland surviving.
See, but the thing is, I feel like King's Landing is like basically like tainted House Tyrell extra towards death. So Garland was in King's Landing,
Yeah.
so he might also be on the path towards death.
Well,
And then I think Willis staying at home might be what gets him to survive.
yeah.
Yeah, but Marjorie dead, Loris dead, Elena dead. Like they're all dead. I don't want to say the book should copy the show because that's ridiculous. But I mean, the Septa Baylor scene in the show was just, yeah, that was a good scene. And I know all people that liked Heist Tyrell are like, how dare you say that scene is amazing? But that scene was amazing. And
Very cool.
so I don't think they'll all die at the same time like that.
I don't think the blowing up the sept will happen.
Yeah, I don't think blowing up stuff will happen. Maybe something else.
Yeah, I think Cersei's gonna do something like fucking.
Yeah,
crazy.
but that's what I was gonna say. Like, I think Cersei having an agency and that all the Tyrells dying is very, very likely, especially because she is mad, and she should be. She had to walk around King's Landing like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was Kevin's fault. Kevin's dead, but how does she know that?
But yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's gonna wrap us up. So yeah, I think so. Basically, this was recorded live, and I'm pretty sure no one watched it because we didn't say we were live again. So yeah, if you actually stayed through all this, I'm sorry you had to deal with all our nonsense. And I guess thanks for supporting our stupid account with our bad jokes that we post. And then we're mostly making videos because we just want to contribute to the ASOIAF community somehow. Even if our takes are ridiculous.
Sure.
Yeah, so thank you if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully next time we won't have so many technical difficulties and we can do an actual live stream where we actually talk to you guys. And I don't know, the whole idea of us doing a surprise live stream literally happened like 3 hours before, so that's probably why we failed, because we weren't even prepared. So if we ever do a live stream again, we'll probably tell you guys in advance. So yeah. Thank you for watching. I think I said that like 3 times, but we adore you guys, and we can't believe you actually deal with us all the time.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say?
No, just thank you. You said it all. Yeah, we appreciate the support.
Well, goodbye, everyone.
Bye.